Walking up right now is Randy Adams, and if you don't know Randy, I'll tell you, he was one of the first funders of Yahoo. Hi, Randy. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yes, he had the opportunity to put $100,000 into Yahoo, and he didn't do it. But you still did okay.
It was all right.
Yeah, you're okay. He's doing all right. You're behind a funny, what's the site?
Will Ferrell's Funny or Die. I co-founded that with Will. It's part of the
His Funny or Die is his thing.
It's really fun going to board meetings with Will there. We don't get much work done, but we all laugh our butts off.
What are you showing us? And then I'll show
Well, I'm showing you CrowdCall. CrowdCall is an iOS and Android app that takes the pain out of conference calls from mobile. We all know how difficult that is because you have to remember a PIN, you have to remember your dial-in number. It's hard to do both. This is a app with no dial-ins, no PINs, and no cost.
All right, your time has started.
All
You're
right.
like the king of the run-on sentence.
And
All
now
right.
I'm going to give you a little
So this
demo
thing is
here.
called CrowdCall, and it's a conference call app, which is weird because you think conference call, that's kind of old school. What does it do?
Well, really, when you think about it, why do you have to send out a conference call number for people to dial in? You have to send it with email or send it with a text message when you don't do that when you want to call somebody. So why don't you just set up a conference call the same way? Just call everybody you want on the conference call. So what CrowdCall does is it lets you, we're up on the screen, it lets you pick people you want to add to the conference from your contact list. Basically, you go through and you pick people, and you pick their number, and you just keep adding them in. And you can actually save these as a favorite. So I have a favorite over here. Here is some CrowdCall staff. And these people, this is Bill. Bill's in Arizona. Buck's in Connecticut. He just texted me and said it's getting late there. Jing is in China, in Beijing. Jeff is in San Francisco. And actually, let's take Dan out. He's in London, and I think it would wake him up. So to make a call to these people, you just hit.
So instead of getting a code and everybody emails everybody and says, here's a conference call, and people forget and other people like jump on, you know.
So CrowdCall called me.
So CrowdCall just called you. The conference call calls you.
To begin your crowd call.
Tech.
To begin my CrowdCall, I'm going to press 1.
I'm going to call the other parties now. If nobody picks up in 30 seconds, please hang up and try again. I love you for using me.
Very nice.
Now we're reaching out, and all these other phones are ringing all over the world.
So it's calling China, it's calling London, it's calling Connecticut.
It's no charge.
Right, it's not like freeconferencecall.com where if you're international, you're screwed kind of because you go, excuse my language.
That's Bill. Bill, is that you?
Buck French,
Where are you calling from, Buck?
New York. Hey, this is Bill in Arizona.
Where's
Can you
Jing?
hear him?
I'm on.
Hi.
Hey guys. Hello, this is Jing from China.
Jing.
What time is it
Buck
in
French, New York.
What time is it in China, Jing?
It's 7:41 here. No, actually, it's I guess the American time. It's
It's
10:41 in the morning.
10:41 in the morning. Good morning, China.
Good morning. Okay, we're going to say goodbye to you guys now. Bye.
Everybody do.
Need
Thank
to
you.
Bye.
Anyway,
All right, so
you
this
see how that works.
All
Pretty
right, so
simple.
this is interesting because freeconferencecall.com is what I always use, right? Because it's free.
But that's not really free.
But it's not really free.
Because you
it's a
have to
scam in a
pay
way.
to call in.
True.
And you don't call, nobody calls in with this. It calls out.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody gets the call. And it's instant. You don't have to set it up in advance. But if you want to, you can schedule it. You basically you set up your call, you pick the people that you want on the call, you hit schedule, and whoops, I hit the wrong button. Let's go back. You hit schedule, and you can set up a call. Basically, go in and pick a title, enter in a title for your call, and a description for your call. And
Is anybody else doing this? I mean, this is ancient technology.
Nobody is doing the dial-out conferencing. We're the only ones doing it. There are a lot of people that are trying to solve this problem of trying to get on a conference call from a smartphone. No one's doing a dial-out. And so you can set this up, and it will automatically call everybody. You can actually have a repeat. You can have it repeat weekly if you like. You can have it repeat daily. And you can have everybody notified in a certain number of increments with a text message before the call comes out.
And this is in beta, right?
This is, version 1 is in the App Store and in the Android Store right now. It doesn't have the scheduling. Actually, the Android does have the scheduling. Version 2 is what I'm showing you today, and that has the capability of doing all the scheduling stuff. That'll be in the App Store within 2 weeks. Also, we have a cool thing. You can actually create a public crowd call where you can actually have a call that people can subscribe to. So, for example, there are different categories.
Randy.
Yes. No.
Do you need a client
only the
installed?
call originator needs to have it installed. You can call landlines, you can call Skype lines, you can hook up with anybody you want to on this. They don't have to have the app.
So it just texts you and says?
No, basically rings your phone.
It just rings your phone. Nobody has to download it.
And the caller ID that
That's
comes
cool.
in is your caller ID. Yes, question? Right now we
How
limit
many
it
people
to 20.
can you have on a call?
More than 20 people tends to get a little confusing on a conference call. And especially in these calls when we're having like celebrity calls and things like that.
Android, it's iOS, and it's kind of, this reminds me, this is like a Hangout on Google Plus.
Actually,
an audio
you can
hangout.
create a Hangout. You can post a link to it, and people can put in their phone number and get called. So there's a number of different things you can do with this, not just having a regular conference call. It's casual conferencing, if you will.
All right, you still have 47 seconds left. Here
Yes.
you go. Exactly.
Value-added services. Right now, it's free to 40 countries, and there are some countries that are a higher cost for us to go out on a line charge because we use all the TDM. We use basically the carriers to dial out to people. So we'll be upcharging on those particular calls, and we have a lot of people that want to use it for that. Also, for recording services, you can record the conference, but if you want a transcription, we're going to charge for that. So there's a lot of value add you can add to a conference call that people are willing to pay for. It's a $3.5 billion market in the U.S. and Canada alone.
Yeah, now this is a guy who was like early on in Yahoo, did searchme.com.
Yeah, well, that was okay. We won't talk about that one.
Yeah, well, okay. You've done well. You've got 4 seconds left. I want to thank you.
Thank you very much.
You did an excellent job.
Thanks.
This is why he makes the big bucks. I'll tell you, he knows how to do a demo. Randy Adams. That was CrowdCall.